Alright, since Axe Edit is not updated yet for the stand-in switches function, you need to go over to the actual Axe effects, hit the setup menu, hit FC controllers, press enter. It'll come out to the first page. Scroll over. So once you get over to the stand-in switches menu, you're going to scroll over to layout 4, well, that's where I put it, effects 2, hit the over navigation button, and then you're going to just go over to whatever switch you are programming. In my case, it's number 3 on the FC-6, and I've set it to tuner, and that's it. So at this time, you've already set the options on the actual Axe effects for the stand-in switch. So now what you're going to do is you're going to come over to Axe Edit, which in my case, I've already set the switch under this layout here, layout 4. I just picked something here, and in this case I had it on scene 7. I was messing around, but you could come over here and just find an unused switch, and you could put it on tuner. So if you look down here, I've got this old Boss momentary switch. I just had some laying around. I can't find the second one for some reason, but this is hooked directly up to an FC-6, and I'll explain in a minute on the FM3 how this can help. And if I tap here, it'll go right to my tuner. So this is really cool to kind of free up this. For example, I got this tap tempo, and then when I hold it, it goes to the tuner. If I wanted to free that up, sometimes that's kind of a pain, you know, I can just put it on this little momentary switch and have an external tuner. So I think that's pretty cool. The other thing that I saw in the forum, and if you look on the screen here, I could take, 7 through 12, since they can't be used anyway, which is, I think, really cool. You can just take this and actually do the same thing. So let's put this back to something else. Unassign. How about that? So I go over here, change it over, set it to utility, tuner. Now it's not going to work yet because I need to go back over to the to the actual Axe effects. So I'll do that offline and I'll be back. So I've got it set. This is actually on switch 9. I've got it set to tuner. So now when I press this, it should go to tuner, and it does. That's awesome. Sweet. So, you know, that way you don't have to give up anything, and no matter where you're at, it's going to switch to it. The last thing I want to point out is I've got this picture of the FM3. I'm assuming that pedal 1 and 2, you can hook these momentary switches up to them. I'm assuming that's where they're talking about plugging them into. Some really cool things they're doing on the back end and in development with firmware, and I think this opens up a lot of doors for people that might not want to spend the money on the FC-6 or FC-12 or any other MIDI foot switch.